Now the run's starting to get really fun because of the green orb and our new main source of movement, which is called High Speed Edge. As usual, restock your gems. Once you're done restocking your gems, use High Speed Edge to get into the next room immediately. Before Leon gets teleported into the dungeon, try to select pre-select Sapphire quickly. So you could finish off these skeletons quickly with double Sapphire. Once you finish them off, get to the near door. You can see here clearly how the game pace got changed heavily thanks to Green Orb and Axe. Optimally you would want to use 2 Sapphire only, but unfortunately the first wave was unfavorable. Worst case scenario you would have to use 4. Here you need to align yourself for high speed edge double hit on axe armor. Then you can pop off double Sapphire to clear the first wave. Use Ruby while you're close to the door to finish the last wave off. If you do well here, you would use your first diamond after you go up to the staircase, because that's the optimal usage of your diamond at this place. I use a flame kick here so I could cancel into high speed edge immediately without any recovery animation. We're going to come back to kill this ogre after we get the E-tablet. Stand on the yellow platform to get one of the most important items and pop off a diamond. We need this key item. You will see why on the next part of the video. Okay, so you see why I walked over here? The reason why I walked over here rather than doing high speed edge, because if I don't walk over here, then the enemies won't spawn. Instead they'll take too long. They have a specific trigger character position, like a very specific place. And unfortunately their spawn point is not very consistent, like they don't all spawn at the same time. So I have to wait slightly longer before I pop one ruby to clear everything. Once you clear them, the door will be immediately accessed, which makes it tempting for you to pop ruby very quickly. So be very careful here. I tried to activate this lever very quickly, but I was so late. Use one high speed edge here before you start platforming. If you do well in platforming here, you will not hear the deactivation where all the platform being sent back. This was an optimal climb, like very optimal. And there you go, we get the E-tablet, a key item to trigger the boss fight of this dungeon. Once again I did a flame kick so I could cancel into high speed edge immediately, but unfortunately I was slow. And I forgot to pre-select diamond. Before you go into the ogre room, select purple orb so you could throw wind axe on him. It will immediately finish him off. Once you're done killing the ogre, switch back to green orb so you could still use high speed edge until boss room. Once you reach into that room, high speed edge only once. You need to high speed edge once, then use diamond for full recovery, and use turquoise to roll for a cross weapon. That is very important for this fight, because of the light cross. I paused this here to show you where I'm standing before I trigger the boss fight. The basic data and everything about this boss doesn't really matter, considering how scripted this fight is. So turn around, throw one cross. If you throw one cross and it double hits, the boss will immediately go into a guard stance. Before he goes into a guard stance, make sure that you whip him once. This start is very, very important for the first 5 cycle. And then once you get him into that pace, you go behind him, align yourself properly here. If you align yourself properly here, you'll be able to get the light cross double hit every single time you throw it. What you're going to do here is to throw one light cross and then immediately whip. Your combo for this fight will be square square triangle. Then repeat the process until he dies, and make sure that you're realigning yourself. You need to realign yourself to make sure that double hit light cross will happen every single time. And that was optimal phase 1. Now before we're going to jump into phase 2, first thing you need to make sure is to switch into a purple orb. We need Michael's Sword, so Michael's Sword can tamper our DPS before we spam 6 rubies. After you select the purple orb, you need to pre-select Ruby. After you pre-select Ruby, start rolling around so you can unlock double dodge, or we could call it a double roll move. When he starts to recover, this is the moment where you immediately start throwing Michael's Sword. Once you throw Michael's Sword, wait briefly before you start spamming Ruby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Once you finish the fight, immediately use a diamond, roll turquoise for an axe. Pick the red orb, do the usual thing, memorable ticket, and I will see you guys in the next part.